Hey everybody, happy Monday. So officially doors are open for Emergence, my 6-month mentoring program. And so I'm going to talk about something specifically related to it, which is, do you, when you want to grow your business or start your business, do you focus on the inner work? Simple question. Do you actually focus on the inner work to do it? Or is the first thing that you do you immediately go to thinking about, what do I need to do? How do I set it up? Do you get overwhelmed? Do you think about, I need to get clear about what I have to offer. I need to get clear about who it's for. Like, these are all traditional things that we do when we're starting a business. And the question is, if you have a business, or if you're growing a business, or if you've wanted a business and you've been in that place for a while, why hasn't it been happening? Why has that not taken place? Is it because you need to stay in the job that you're in for a while longer because you need the stability there? Very legitimate. Is it because you're not sure what the next steps are? Very legitimate. All of these things are really, let's think of another one. What are some of the other reasons that we, not sure it can happen, not sure people will want what you have to offer, making a change could compromise your existing income and you're not sure you want to do that. Like, if I change this, will people still come? If I do what I really want, people will think I'm weird, like crazy, strange, nobody will buy it. Like, there are so many ways that when it comes to business growth, we have competing energies. We want the growth, we want to do the thing in business. We're intuitive, we're listening internally for what we want to be doing. We can be pretty clear about it. We can sometimes be pretty clear, but then not feel like we know what to do, or when we consider what to do, we feel overwhelmed. In every one of these instances in business, I cannot even think of one where there is the doing part of it is more important than the inner part of it. So in order to identify who your ideal client is, you've got to get clear with who you are. In order to identify what offers to make, what kind of business to structure, you have to be clear about who you are, where your power is, what you have to offer, where your value is. If you are looking at wanting to sell or grow or transition out of your business, in order to do that, you have to be able to own that business with the full wholeness of who you are and the power of who you are in order to release it and to go to the next thing. Every one of the things that you do in your business, when it comes to wanting to grow it, start it, market it, have more clients, create more money, have more joy, all of it's inner work. And it is so rare in the world to find an actual business growth program that focuses first on inner work. That's what Emergence is. That's what I'm offering you. I can bring a lot of the business components, all the traditional marketing, business, web, tech, presentation, funnels, all the things. But ultimately, the most important thing is the inner work that comes first. Because if you do both of these things simultaneously, you actually create growth in a way you would never have imagined. Never. You get a strength in you that creates growth in all the areas of your life that you tend to put on hold because you're focusing on your business. Whether it's relationships, whether it's kids, whether it's marriage, whether it's more joy, whether it's external activities, like whether you're camping or traveling more, or I just cannot stress enough that the first most important thing when you want to grow or start a business is to focus on your inner work. And yes, it does help to have somebody who knows the business components, the marketing components, the challenges of what it takes to own a business, the challenges of what it takes to transition from having had a job to being in business, wherever you are. The myth that we see so much out there is that you need to find somebody that can help you with a specific thing you want to create. And then once you've had that course or taken the coaching or worked through the components that you need to learn in order to do the thing, that you can then go do it. And that is a myth, because we have so many people that take programs like that never implement them, that never take action on them. And why is that? because there are inner elements that need to be addressed. So let's address some of those inner elements. Trust, trusting yourself, trusting spirit, trusting your intuition. Another component will be knowing yourself, allowing yourself to want what you want without judging yourself, without diminishing yourself, without shaming yourself. Trusting that you can have all the things you want. Honestly, as odd and weird and strange as they seem, when your brain can't connect how they work together, your soul's already got it figured out. And your inner work then is to learn how to be and act and hold your own energy while the universe lines things up. So then what do you do in the meantime, right? Your brain starts figuring out, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That's why you work with somebody else that can help you identify what your doing part is. How do you do your way when you're trying to be in alignment? These are such big conflicts. If you do any work as an intuitive, or if you've done any inner work, you know that some of this is about standing in your own power. And some of this is about recognizing your patterns. Like, we've learned where we diminish ourselves or where we self-sabotage. But stopping that and moving forward can sometimes feel tough in conflict. Doesn't have to be. That's why I've created Emergence. It is a powerful group program where we are going to have no more than 15 women together, all intuitive, all sensitive, all empathic. One of those components, you have to be already have done some of your work to know that you're a powerful creator. That means you know you're creating your life. And where you are in business or where you are on your journey as an intuitive is irrelevant. Because when we come together, we all know, we all sense, we all can have compassion for each other with where we are. And when your soul calls you in to work on something like this, or when you're interested, or when you get excited about something like this, that means we're creating a collective energy that's uplifting everyone, regardless of where you are. Growth happens for you regardless of where you are in your business, regardless of where you are in your life. And everyone can move up and still be in their own place. And that's what life is. We do that all the time. But Emergence is about supporting you internally, emotionally, energetically, to create the you, to be the you actually, because you've already created you. You just sometimes don't see it. To be the you that you are in such a way that you open up gracefully and allow yourself to have what you want show up and have the excitement to create it, have the confidence to create it. It is so rare to find programs like this. This is what I do in one-on-one work. And I encounter so many people when I do discovery sessions that they've worked with a business coach, and the business coach never talked about this stuff. It was all about the doing, meeting goals, challenges, plans. Do you know when you create plans, you create such a beautiful way to judge yourself for having failed that you didn't follow the steps. Which doesn't mean you shouldn't plan, but if you have a tendency to judge yourself, then how is a plan going to help you? So, you know, there's so much that we can approach with a different perspective, which is what I do. I have a very unique perspective about a business, about business, doing things in business, and about being a person in business. From one, don't plan. You don't need to plan. Technically, the universe does not plan its creation. It does not sit there and plan things out. However, some people need structure and order. So you find the ways that work for you. My source of information that I use sort of as my background, like my how do I calibrate to you? Because even in a group, when I do group work with people, I calibrate to an individual. So I can give Sarah what she wants and needs, and she's very, very different than Annie. And I can give Annie what she wants and needs, and I'm using both their names. They know me because they've been in my mentorship for the past 3 years. They're very different people. They approach life completely differently. They have completely different human designs. This is how I use it, is I pay attention to a person's human design. Your human design will give you a very basic roadmap, but it affects everything you do. It affects the way that you show up in business. It affects the way you create in business. It affects the way you design. You decide how to do things. And when you can align yourself with that, then things line up. things show up, opportunities show up, growth happens, invitations happen if you're a projector, generators, more stuff shows up to be responded to. So I really want you to consider a different way to do business, a different way to be in a business program, which is all about doing the inner work. It's completely about doing inner work first, foremost, and in conjunction with what you want to do in your business and in your work. If you have any questions, please drop them. I will respond. If you've been listening, I see I've got different people here. I'm happy to have you here. Drop me questions, drop me comments, drop me wonders. It's when it comes to business growth, the first thing you do is personal inner work. But I want to be clear. You can't do inner work in a vacuum. None of us can do inner work in a vacuum. You can't turn off your business stuff and then just focus on you stuff. You can't think your way to inner work. The only way that growth happens is by having the experience of doing it, which is why we work in a group together, why we meet consistently for a good period of time, because you can show up with what's showing up for you in your life, and then we learn a different way to engage with it. It's not happening mentally often. So I always think about it as in terms of riding a bike. You can be instructed to ride a bike all day long. You can read books, somebody can explain it to you, and you will never really understand it until you get on a bike and try to do it. That's what happens in all of life. I can teach you how to do an ideal client avatar. I can teach you how to build a funnel, but knowing whether it's correct for you, when it's correct for you, what's the context, and getting past the fears about doing the things, you don't read those in a book. You don't learn how to have confidence in the work you offer. You don't learn how to know if the thing that you're writing about the client you want to work with is actually in alignment with you, because all the world out there has been telling you how to do it when you're trying to write it from your heart. And your mind is telling you, yeah, but it's missing this piece and this piece and this piece, and this is what everyone says you should have. But your heart's saying, that's not working, so I don't know how to reconcile it. What do you do then? So that's inner work. And it's learning how to disconnect from the external patterns that tell us what's correct, and then believing that the way you do it will work. That's what we're going to do in Emergence. So I really want to encourage you to reach out to me to sign up for Emergence. We do an application process. We talk about it, and then you decide when it's right for you. It will begin August 15th. So Emergence, our group, comes together August 15th, and we're going to start. Now, for those of you who are still listening, I want to make sure you understand, I did not plan this way, but we're launching on the new moon, which, again, not planned. I've been feeling for a while, like when to introduce it. Today's the day. And then I find it really interesting because I've been feeling this energy for a while, this emergence energy. If you follow me for a while, you know I've been talking about it for like over a year. This particular moon, the nodes shift, the shift of the nodes is happening. If you follow astrology, we're shifting our energy into action in a lot of areas. And we're closing off energy from the South Node. We're completing karmic patterns. And the shift between this Aries-Libra axis that's happening is very much about taking action and completing and transitioning and transforming relationships. Taking action in your business and transforming the relationship you have with yourself and with your business. I think it's kind of magical, personally. It's like, alrighty, this is in perfect alignment with the time. It's also starting right at the beginning of this axis shift. And I think that the people who are going to be called to this are going to be very much kind of setting the stage for the next 18 months. So it's a 6-month program. We meet every week for the first 6 weeks, and this is very deliberate. My work in the past with groups is that there's a little while that it takes to get everyone gelling and feeling comfortable with each other, and feeling like they can trust each other and trust themselves to speak comfortably and not offend each other. That takes a little bit of time with that, because it's the energy of the group and the energy that your soul brings that begins to to coalesce the energy so that we are all advancing. It gets amplified technically for everybody. What you want gets amplified and it gets speeded up, and it shortens the time frame for things to happen. Again, that's all energy talk, not stuff you'd normally see in a business program. It's not about here's how you're going to make money. Really, I want to see how you're going to advance and how you become stronger as a human, as a soul, as a heart, because that is going to flow out and it will return to you as much as you're able to allow in. That's essentially how it works. All right, I'm really grateful. I've got people listening. Please feel free to let me know if you have questions. I'm going to drop the link. It's already in my profile, so you can go check out Emergence and read the details there if you'd like. And it has a link to go ahead and book a time for conversation. You don't need to book a time for conversation to sign up. I'd like you to book a time for conversation to converse. Like, let's explore if this is correct for you. Because it may not be, it may be exciting right now, it may not, or it may be absolutely true, and we need to meet each other and get to know that that's the case. Thank you so much, you guys. I will be in touch. See you tomorrow.